here in Las Vegas with IMC Nation, most notably AZD. And we're going to talk about game, the end game of game, which is like where does it lead to? Living in Vegas with IMC Nation and what that's like. And we're going to talk with audience also. So if you guys want to talk, then specifically on TikTok and Instagram, when the laptop starts working again, some dumb shit happened. This is a brand new laptop, so I don't know what this is. I have two of the same laptop, guys. Isn't that interesting? So that way I don't transport one to another location. I just have two locations I work, and I have the same laptop in both places and share everything through the cloud. IMC Nation, end game of dating for men. So guys on Instagram and so I was saying that, so when the laptop is working again, then we'll be live on Zoom because that's where everybody was going to be. Right now we're just on social media. What's up, Stephen Prosperity? If you want to talk today, today's a good day because you're on TikTok now, and if you want to do that, then let's do that. Guys, smash that like on TikTok and just request to go live. If you're on YouTube, then there you are on YouTube. You'll catch the benefit of whatever this is. Okay, guys. So, first off, IMC Vegas. It's a real thing. It's a reality for 31 guys and more to come. What's up, Tom Belton? If you want to go live, you can go live too. Tom Belton is UK. IMC UK. Steve Prosperity, where are you from? I'm curious. So yeah, it's amazing that 30 guys, 31 including AZD, move across state lines, change their jobs, change their licenses, in some cases move their wives, move their kids, you change everything, man. When you change locations, you gotta tie off all the loose ends where you were and then open up a bunch of new knots where you're moving to. So for guys to pick up and move, that's what was so big about the guys that moved across the country to live with AZD. Prior, guys had moved across the country to live with AZD, or to live near AZD. Like, I could think of at least two who moved across state to live in San Jose and train with AZD. And they both burn out and fall off. They didn't have a tribe around them. That's what we had. 408, you know what I'm talking about. That's Bay Area. So, they didn't have a tribe around them. And so I come along and I recruit these guys, and for a year they train intensely, highly with AZD. And then from Bahamas, what's up, Nassau, and then the opportunity during lockdown, the global lockdown, let's all move. The airfare is cheap, got nothing else going on, let's move to San Jose and study, learn this stuff, monk life, because everything was shut down. There was no social living. It's too bad this can't be recorded on Zoom, but it's streaming here to YouTube and everything. And during lockdown, we trained like monks, and we woke up increasingly early. 2 a.m. was the max earliness that we were waking up. My wake-up time was 2:30. We had an online check-in worldwide where AZD would post on Instagram, and guys worldwide, part of the movement, would be checking in that they were up, and everybody would see what order, who was the first one to comment that was up right at that time. You know what I mean? That was during a lot. And then we're up in beasting calisthenics prison routine. From behind bars, maximum security prison, from 2 inmates and from another guy who had gotten out. And that code, then implementing David Goggins' mindset, push, implementing the ideas of alchemy and stoicism, and journaling, and boom, and then the imagination and the beast activating mental exercises of AZD. So we came up with this idea, this creation called the beast, and it has the coat of arms right here. I'll show you guys. So about 40 to 45 individuals, most of them in the United States and local, but several across the world, have gotten this tattoo also. The coat of arms. It's just a sigil with a lot of symbols in it that represent stoicism and a stoic monk mindset. Now I'm one of those guys that has that tattoo of that coat of arms. So I really studied it thoroughly and integrated it in my life. That's what this was. This was a lifestyle. It was during lockdown. Remember, there was nothing going on worldwide. Everything was shut down. All these conspiracies going in. Here they are, a bunch of men that moved in together, 5 of us, and then other bases started coming online. We were beasting as it was. And it was incredible stuff that was happening with our training that was happening before sunrise through personal volition. Just we wanted to do it. It wasn't part of a military or a police training or sports. And even then, in many cases, we're not as extreme as we were. We were eating raw meat, drinking blood in some instances, legal that you could get, raw liver, raw eggs, raw milk, raw butter, raw everything. Raw, dude, you eat raw meat, just raw, straight raw. And with nobody making you, and it's not a medical recipe for something, it's just you're exploring savagery that's been taken from you gradually through the conditioning of life. Life has deteriorated because of the way the culture is set up. It's deteriorated your autonomy, your sovereignty as a man, your masculinity, essentially. And you know it because of how your relationships are with women. But that we didn't know that at the time because it was during lockdown. As shit started opening up, some of the first stuff that opened up were strip clubs and other restaurants. So we got right out the gate, when the gate opens and the horse races begin, we had beasted and cultivated our character through interrelations, all the guys. And worldwide, they would once a month travel and do this pilgrimage to San Jose, California. But it's very expensive there. And the flights there are expensive, travel there, everything's expensive. It's on the edge of the country. There's nothing to the west of it. So it's like everybody's got to travel from the east. Versus a more centrally located city like Vegas that has all the California following in northern and southern California that has to travel east to Vegas. But then everybody to the east of Vegas has to travel west to come to Vegas. And it's very cheap. It's Vegas. It's a tourist city. There's a flight going in every minute. Sit there, watch. Every 60 seconds, bro. A new flight of people. That's trafficking people into Vegas. People with money because they bought airline tickets. Like, that's Vegas. And they're also leaving, obviously, because Vegas is actually not that dense of a city. It's not that populated of a city. It's a rural city in the middle of the West, the American West. And there's not much around it for 100 miles, maybe hundreds of miles in some cases. So, guys, if you want to talk game, I know it doesn't seem like I'm talking game, but I'm giving you backstory of IMC Nation. So I pulled these guys together. We're based up, lockdown. People are doing pilgrimages. After about a year, a solid second base opened. And I say that because there were other second bases, base twos, let's call them, that didn't work out. But finally one worked out. To this day, those guys have moved here to Vegas, and it's still IMC Base 2. Granted, some of the guys have upgraded to another house. Some of the new guys have come in. But a core base leader and his one or two wing guys, co-officers or whatever, because at some point we had officer rankings in IMC Nation. Now it's a little bit different because it's gone through such a spiritual evolution. That's just a whole other story that I'm not going to get into. But we've moved here to Vegas. Base 3 moved here to Vegas. They were in Los Angeles. Base 4 moved here to... was already here, actually. The Vegas base was already Base 4 with 4 guys living here. Base 5 from Phoenix moved here. And then a whole new base opened up called I Am Paradise, where they have a content house. It's amazing. The laptop doesn't look like it's going to be working. So, I wonder what happened. I'll unplug this and start it up again. So if guys, you got any questions or anything, I'll look. I know YouTube had a ton of comments, but there was a bunch of people that came on. Teaching. Hi from France. Hello. No. I don't know who that is. Let's see, anything worthwhile here? The homies needed a stealth soldier, so I burnt my fingertips off. Okay, cool. Gay, no. Vampire. Heroin is a hell of a drug. Okay. Whose Aryan brother is this? Well, that's a nice compliment. Thank you. Okay. And then we'll just check it over here on TikTok if there's been any comments here. Lots of people joined. That's worthwhile, guys. Comment if you want. You can also go live. I'll show you the game. Let's see here. Anything here? Hi, what's up, Tom Belton? Yeah, if you want to go live, Tom, just request to go live here. Let's talk it out. Game is best talked out, because it's a social dynamic. It's amazing, what's happened with this laptop. That's a trip. Take out that. So, try one more time. Okay. I might even shut it off right now, just to bypass that. And then we'll get back to it. Give it a second, actually. Okay, so this is the game. so strip clubs started opening up, and the Beast Pro it became very apparent. A new wave of students came around because the world was opening up again. So pickup artists and dating coaches and whatever was coming back into business. Guys said during lockdown, all the dating coaches of the world focused on online dating and dating apps and whatever. But so there's a whole evolution that happened there. Is the whole dating market funneled into just a few apps, and new apps opened up, and then you know the game evolves. Like the same pickup lines don't work, the same openers, the same comments, the same noticings. If you awarenesses, you got to evolve. It's not the same game. There are definitely principles that pass down through time. How men and women relate, some of the genetic code, because that's very slow changing. It's ingrained in there for thousands and thousands and thousands of years and generations, really. But how that is conveyed, the words, because the words are lies. The words are not really the condition. If I say water, it's not water. If I say I love you, it's not I love you. It's just the words of I love you. And how you feel it is going to be totally subjective. It doesn't depend actually on how I feel it. I can influence how I deliver it. But at the end of the day, your subjective experience of what I communicate to you is your experience of it. Your experience is subjective. So that's where I'm getting into that. We get into the game. Oh, so it quickly, as a new wave of students come that are dating oriented, well, everybody was dating oriented because AZD already had multiple fine girlfriends for years. And so that was just like a given for the guys who knew him. But the new age of social media, and he was suppressed in a lot of channels. He had a 95,000 account, got deleted. Had a 14,000 person account, got deleted because Instagram didn't like the true thing he was posting about during lockdown and all that stuff, And so it didn't really explode on that level. I had a YouTube channel deleted, posting his content, just deleted. YouTube deleted it, So that was the whole censorship. It's still censorship, but, the world is waking up. It's post-Armageddon right now. Armageddon is the, opening of the eye around this. What's up, Johnny? So, I can't hit this pen or it'll block me. So, here's what happened. So then the game started coming back on, a new wave of students, but it was obvious to the guys who had gone through the year and a half of beast process, beasting with AZD, and the whole, it's not just the calisthenics or the physicality, or even just the nutrition, or even just the philosophy. It's how the imagination is used to create this philosophy and to utilize emotions to churn out a better character in this art and this science, which is the art of communication and social dynamics, and it's the science of communication and social dynamics. Social dynamics is not just men and men or women and women. It is men and women, men and women and women and men. And men and women and women and men can't just be friends without one wanting to get with the other. Unless you have some low-value people who happen to have some business to do with each other. And even then, the romance is going to come in there. Because if the guy's low value, then he'll fuck anything. And so he'll want to get with that girl. And if he's married or something and the girl is too ugly, she's going to fall for him. The mating agenda is there. It's not in our DNA, in our body, for men and women to just interact on any level other than the mating code. That's what it's... Or your family. Obviously, you have a wife, you have kids, you have a mother. There's the women in your family, biologic family. And even then it gets fucked up sometimes. But there's that. And then every other woman who's not in your blood is for mating as a man. That's what you're looking at. And now she might be too young, she might be too old, she might be... That's just about it. She might be, again, too ugly. But then if you're not considering her and you're so above her, she's probably looking at you like you're the value and wanting to get with you. Let's not forget that side of the coin, that the woman is actually coded genetically, every single cell in her body, to seek higher value. Higher value, because each cell is autonomous, but somehow each cell works together. There's a collective consciousness of my 70 trillion cells or whatever, but then each cell has its own consciousness also. And collectively, these cells have all arranged for me to seek replication, and her to seek survival value, higher survival. She already has higher replication, unless I'm just perfectly symmetric, to the point where you could tell if I had a female offspring, a daughter with a woman, obviously, but if I produced daughters, that they would be more beautiful. That's my replication value. So I have symmetry, I have muscle development, I have skin quality, I have superficial aesthetic, traits that would be good if translated into a female. And it's not that the female is muscular, but yeah, female has a female quality of muscle tone and distribution and stuff like that. So it's the beauty, a man that's beautiful, that's his replication value. And if a woman wants to have sex for him for his replication value, that's called his replication value. That's why he's going to be a bitch, a beta to her, because she has the survival value. If she's getting with him for his replication value. Now, he may have that going for him and also have survival value. Ultimately, that's what will fulfill a woman, is he has higher survival value, she has higher replication value. I got a female friend like that. Okay, I forget what that is. Nelson, can you talk about the distracted rock star technique? Nelson, are you still on? You are. Okay, so it's a technique that points, it's a sign. You know how like they say the map is not the territory. So if I have a map here, that's very different than actually walking on the land. And so it shows here, arrow from here to here, go around that mountain behind that cactus. That's very different than actually walking around the mountain and going behind the cactus. Like, that's a totally different experience. So the technique is the sign, it's the map, but it's not the experience. The experience of distracted rock star is someone of very high value who can't keep his attention on the female because he's too busy with his fucking rock star event. What's so cool about that is the rock star event is your life. You have to make your life the rock star event. That doesn't mean you go and play rock. What that means is, and guys on TikTok, smash that like. And guys, everybody, everywhere, go live with me. I have just not that long, maybe another 20 minutes. If you want to go live, let's dialogue about some game. So, let's see here. The rock star has stuff going on that's very attractive to women. His rock and roll, his concert, his show, his fame, his money, obviously, and the fact that so many other women like him triggers in her that he's so high value. But any man doing anything, that's his rock event. His show is his rock event, is his life. And so he needs to treat it that way. That it's not less important than the rock star's event is to him. And he shouldn't, the rock star epitomizes carefreeness, that he's not attached to outcomes. And so there's such a high comfort level with life, although the rock star's probably on drugs, but it's mimicking this quality that women find attractive. He doesn't take life seriously because he is so safe and secure. Now, the problem with drugs are the person acts secure, but really they're falling off a cliff. You know what I'm saying? So it's mimicking something and they don't last long. But in truth, the man that is carefree and artistic and creative with life, but has his masculinity, is so secure in his ability to handle life that he doesn't need to take it seriously. That's why the guy who's making a lot of money, but he's really uptight, which is all of you motherfuckers who are going for, I'm going to make a lot of money so that I finally get chicks. I'm going to have the dream house and the dream chicks and the dream car and the dream chicks, and I'm doing it all for the dream chicks. And you're so uptight that woman is going to walk all over you and break you at your core because you're so high-strung. Achieving the external. Yes, I'm ambitious also. Part of this talk here is even ambitiousness. But that ambitiousness has to be channeled through an ethical code that makes you very aligned with life so that you're always giving back goodness and not just taking advantage through some kind of like crypto trading or something. You become the best crypto trader or the best stock day trader or something. And you're so uptight and in your head and with numbers and whatever that you can't be a player, bro. You're just going to spend tens of thousands of dollars on not being a player. You're going to be seeking sex is what you're doing. You're just lustful. You're a lustful rich boy that is still a boy. And one day you may still have that money, you may not have that money, you'll still be a boy. Because you didn't develop your character as a player. A player is a man. A man. And so our beast process, the flip side of that is the chosen process. Does a man's past really matter if I have a bad reputation? Yes and no. It matters right now because you can't just change everybody's, your rep just by being like, I don't like that. Or you can't just like all of a sudden change your character and the next day expect everyone to treat you differently. They have a different image of you in their head. So it does matter, But at the end of the day, you don't seem that old to me from your picture or whatever, so you could probably change your rep. You can always change your city, create a new rep. You can, just deal with your karma. I believe every man can overcome his karma. There you go. So it's just about having the right actions and the right mindset, really. The mindset is essential because you'll make wrong decisions from the wrong mindset all day long, thinking you're in the right mindset. Then tomorrow you learn something new, you improve your mindset, and you realize yesterday you made a mistake because you didn't have the right mindset. And it's like that's where a teacher saves you so much suffering. Having the right guy to go to and the right structure and the right education to have, because you all have wrong education regarding women. And when it comes to women, that's going to destroy your life no matter how good you are at everything else. What are you going to do? Where are you going to turn? Every corner of the earth, as you get better at what you do, you're just a bigger target for women, and you're a slave to your lust. You're a slave to your ignorance about women. You're going to make the wrong decisions. And no matter how successful you are at anything you do, you're going to get destroyed. Until you learn real game. Real game is what AZD teaches, and only AZD teaches real game. He's the only teacher on earth of real game. Test that. Question me. Ask me questions. What do you mean real game? No, what about this guy, that guy? Go ahead. Let's go. Let's go. Ask to go live. What happens when she says, from TikTok, everybody. See, we don't need laptops. That's why we have 4 devices. Okay, Tom Belton, everybody on Instagram. Let's go. Request to go live or something. Brandon. What happens when she says you, she loves you, then switches on you when things get serious and friend zones you? Dang. These hoes. Well, I mean, that's a big thing. If she says she loves you, then I don't know. It depends on who she is. And if drugs are involved, alcohol, and you might be taking it too serious. Like she said, "I love you" when she's like drunk and just meant you as a friend. I love you. She may be some ghetto trash or something. And Tom Belton, fuck that question, bro. I'm gonna give a little talk on that. Oh my god. You gotta come live. Go live, Tom Belton. Request to go live, bro. Okay, bro, so if the girl's saying I love you and then friend zones you, whatever, I mean, I don't know, maybe you're condensing a 6-year story where it's like she loved you 5 years ago and now she's like saying we gotta be just friends and whatever. And I mean, I already figured out what the question is, like, why? What happens? Well, she doesn't see you as higher value than her. I don't know why she would say she loves you. It just depends on how she said that. Because girls, they don't mean what they say, bro. Guys don't even mean what they say because they're so feminine. I mean what I say, but that's why you're watching me. I'm not watching you. And why does it happen? Why does what happen, Nelson? Oh, why does the... Oh. Okay, hold on. Nelson's got some questions. Nelson, if you can go live too, man, that would be best. Oh, man. Phone closed. 8. Okay. The phone closed there. Nelson... There are some times when I'm really motivated, really happy, full of energy, but suddenly out of nowhere, a bad thought appears in my mind and I'm surrounded with darkness. How can I overcome this effect? Nelson, talk with me after this stream, bro. I want to talk with you after the stream because I'm going to need to dialogue with you. If you could FaceTime ideally or just a phone call, let me know. Comment here if you can do a call after this stream. Okay. Robert Talaga is on. And... Welcome, guys. Live stream with me. Tom Belton, I want to answer your question, but man, you gotta go live with me. I wish we were live on Zoom, but I can't right now because the laptop's not working. Okay. Did I answer your question on TikTok, bro? I hope I got it. I hope you're still on. Otherwise, next comment. What happens is you drop value in her eyes, and she no longer sees you as above her. But that's a really weird thing to say. That she said, if she said it to you like that, if it's as you said it is. So I got the feeling that she was already friend zoning you, and she was just like drunk and said to you like, "I love you," and you were just like took it serious, which shows a very big and alarming lack of experience with women. Not that most guys don't have a lack of experience, but it's alarming. I'm alarmed at that lack of experience because you're just gonna you're gonna be a sex slave to some dominatrix, and she's gonna have 20 of you sex slaves, and she's gonna be kicking you in the nuts and taking your money, and you're gonna be all right with it because you're that weak, or it's something that I don't get. And so go live with me and talk with me about it. Nelson, sure. So just request to go live, brother. Do I have to do it or? Oh no! Oh, we're not going live. We're talking after this. Okay, so Nelson, I can tell you that we have that solution. That is the problem of mankind. Let me pin it actually, so that other people know exactly what I'm talking about here. Okay, so there are some times when I'm really motivated, really happy, full of energy. This is Nelson. But suddenly, out of nowhere, a bad thought appears in my mind, and I'm surrounded with darkness. How can I overcome this effect? And then later he asks, like, why does this happen? Okay? It's a very common phenomenon because you live in a not very friendly place for humans and human minds. And so overcoming that and using it to your advantage so that you take back control of your life, overcoming your mind, basically, your mental, psychological, and emotional obstacles in life is the journey. And all of the problems of personal development, I want everybody to know before I get off this and I talk with Nelson, is that the problem with personal development is that all of that personal development is in the trash can. Like I have a trash can in there with some coffee grounds and some used tissues and whatever. And like if I brought that trash can out here and showed it to you, that's where you could put all your personal development. Is right in that trash can. You know why? I'll tell you why right now. Because none of them deal with women. So you still suck with women. You guys suck with women. Real bad. To the point where you're throwing your lives away and with everything. Your careers, your jobs, your schooling, your everything that you do. Your gym going and your nutrition and even your stupid little video games and whatever you do. Your porn addiction. Everything you do is because of women. Your lust and because of the natural genetic code of being with women. Lust is not part of that, by the way. That's a different thing. Lust is a demon, and you have also a genetic programming that's pushing you towards that. So you got to overcome the mind, but personal development teaches you that, but wrongly, because it does not address relationships with women. Both the pickup, the fucking, the dating, the multiple women, lifestyle, the being a player, the naturalness of being a egoless alpha male. Hashtag alpha male. Hashtag egoless. Hashtag spiritual development. Hashtag player. Player's life. Masculine mindset. Hashtag alpha mindset mentality. That's what this is. At that level. Hashtag red pill. Hashtag MGTOW. Hashtag the real top G. AZD. Hashtag IMC Nation. Hashtag be the best, fuck the rest. AZD is that. The bees, they're said the same shit. Yeah, I throw away my personal development with self-help books. Yeah, because they don't help with that. They make you a cheese ball, a try-hard, a phony. You're like Swiss cheese with all those holes in it. You smell really bad. That's all the best of personal development. That's the best of personal development. Because you'll lie to women, you still don't understand. Personal development without game is aluminum foil. And game is not game without IMC Nation. I don't know how else to put it. There's like several subjects that IMC Nation includes. Probably the most innovative is the Panjo, which is AZD's martial arts style that expanded into a social dynamic awareness. So it's literally raw, pure survival value calibrated to game and getting women. It's the raw substance of attraction for women, survival, and then how to calibrate that in social dynamics so that you're always triggering higher survival. Triggers the woman, anywhere AZD goes, the most beautiful women start ratcheting their attention. Ratcheting, it goes... It clicks over. It keeps ratcheting their attention over to him with each high-value gesture that they perceive. He's hacked the code, the genetic code of behavior of higher survival value. And like I said, the innovation of his Panjo martial arts style developed over a decade and a half, 2 decades or so of being in the game, like be a player game, created a kind of game that it's the benchmark now. It is the yardstick of game. Everything else falls short. It's less than that. It is the Jupiter of the solar system. And that's not even it, because Saturn is too close in size. You guys get it? Are you getting, what I'm saying with this? Probably, I hope so. Okay. So, let's just, June, what is this, 26? How long have I been going here? Oh, let's just say it's 3:02. All right. So that's good. Nelson, are you ready, brother? I'm going to call you right after this. I'm going to end it here. Guys, thanks for showing up to the live, listening to that. Show up, ready to talk, ready to ask questions, with something that you have. Bro's a polytheist. I don't know about that. So, although there are multiple gods, I just don't worship multiple gods. So, there you go. All right. It was a pleasure, and maybe we can go live again soon. All right, Nelson, I'm going to call you here in a minute after I end all these lives.